was always very uplifting. He was just a wonderful person and is one of those people that dramatically impacted my life forever. In that few years that we spent together, he was my closest friend. He was T-boned at an intersection, south side Pittsburgh, and was pretty much killed instantly. I went through a process of shock and then grief and then a lot of sadness after that. I did a lot of things to try and bring healing. I went back to the accident site, even picked up pieces of his car. I retraced a lot of his steps and went to places where we went, his old apartment and restaurants we went to. This song, I think, was the final step for me to get that healing, to get that restoration, and especially this video, which brought it all to life. I feel a lot of it brought a lot of closure for me.
I give thanks to the one who gives me strength. I call him Father. When I lay my burdens down, my faith gets stronger.
So Sean and I got together out here in the studio, and Sean came up with this beautiful instrumental guitar part. And I felt the presence of God, and I felt the themes of stronger and farther. And that was how the idea for it was birthed. It happened to meet Sean's inspiration of how he was feeling about his friend Tommy that passed away earlier this year. So it all worked out on the level of like what the theme of the song is. And then I looked up a scripture about that we get a strength from the Lord, and we give thanks for that strength. And it's in 1 Timothy. Then I went to Bill, and Bill and I talked about it, we listened to it, and Bill is the master crafter, lyrically, melodically, and we worked it through together.
I love the video because it's like we hand God all our broken toys after we wreck them, and then, you know, we're sitting there like, what do we do? And then we have to like hand everything back to Him, and that's like when the kids putting the petals back on the flowers. You know, it's like reaching out to God. So when we're really weak enough to get filled with God's strength, we get stronger, and I think that's the takeaway for me.
I really think that it brings up the age-old question that we all ask, is why is there so much suffering in the world? And two, why does God allow it? I think that's the hardest question to answer, and yet it's the easiest. And I spent many years of my life searching for that answer. And what I came up with is that when you study Scripture, nowhere in the Bible does it say life is fair. I've never found anywhere in the Bible that says life is fair. And, but we have a greater promise that He'd never leave nor forsake us. And when I read books like Where is God When It Hurts and Disappointment with God by Philip Yancey, that gave me a lot of clarity on that life is not fair, but we have a greater promise that He'll never leave nor forsake us.